From ABC Sports, I'm Joey Weiler. College football earlier, number 2 Ohio State hauls off a late comeback at Maryland.
Ball of the Maryland 13. Give to Hayden running left side. Hayden gets to the 10. Stumbles inside the 10 and shoots it into the end zone for a touchdown. On a 13-yard run by Dallin Hayden. It looked like he was going to be down.
That's Buckeyes Radio during their 43-30 win, improving to 11-0. Dallin Hayden, 3 TD runs. Second quarter, South Carolina 21, Tennessee 7. In the first, Arkansas 7-0 lead on Ole Miss. Oklahoma 14, Oklahoma State 0, and North Carolina has beaten Georgia Tech 17-14. Elsewhere, in college hoops, tonight's game, New Mexico State at New Mexico, postponed after a 19-year-old man was killed and a 21-year-old man wounded in a pre-dawn shooting on the UNM campus in Albuquerque. This is ABC Sports.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
College gridiron, Kenny McIntosh, and top-ranked Georgia win at Kentucky.
McIntosh in the backfield, 2 tight end formation. Bowers to the left and Washington to the right. Give it to McIntosh. Big hole, left guard. 8 yards to the end zone. Touchdown.
Bulldogs radio to their 16-6 win. 11th-ranked Penn State dominates at Rutgers.
Singleton at the goal line. 5, 10, to his left, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's to the 50. There he goes. Bye-bye, Nicholas Singleton.
A 100-yard return. Nittany Lions radio during their 55-10 laugher. Michigan a late comeback at Illinois, 19-17. TCU escapes Baylor, 29-28. Alabama crushes Austin Peay, 34-zip. Clemson whomps Miami, 40-10. It was Kansas State winning at West Virginia, 48-31. Notre Dame bombs Boston College, 44-0. Florida State decks Louisiana, 49-17. Navy an upset at Central Florida, 17-14. Oregon State rolls at Arizona State, 31-7. Louisville handles NC State, 25-10. Cincinnati cruises at Temple, 23-3. Grizz star John Morant week to week with a grade 1 left ankle sprain. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving reportedly returning from his 8-game suspension tomorrow against Memphis. And the Nets star telling Sportsnet New York he's sorry and not anti-Semitic. NHL, Devils win their 12th straight, 5-1 at Ottawa, and a shootout Flames a 5-4 victory at Florida. College hoops, Dayton beats Robert Morris, 60-51. Joey Weiler, ABC Sports.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day on News Talk KVNU and Sports Talk Radio The Fan. The best complete pregame coverage information for Aggie fans with longtime voice of the Aggies, Al Lewis, bringing you interviews, facts, stats, and lineups. Brought to you by Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, LSS Insurance, Young Truck and Trailer, DD Auto and Salvage, My Mattress, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Elements Restaurant, White Pine Funeral Home, ChemDry of Northern Utah, Aegis Home Health and Hospice, Les Olson Company, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, Daryl's Appliance, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, S.E. Needham Jewelers, and Golden Spike Electric. It's the KVNU Aggie Game Day pregame show.
Well, certainly year 2 of Blake Anderson at Utah State has gone nothing like the magical championship season of 2021. But somehow, with all the adversity and struggles that we have seen, they have gotten themselves these 2 November victories, these past 2 Saturdays. And after the 1-4 beginning, they are now at 5-5, set up again to possibly get it done because of the win at Hawaii last Saturday night into Sunday morning late, Coach.
Rough trip, but man, excited about the win. I told the guys I will never, ever take a win for granted, especially on the road. Leave on Thursday, not an easy trip to get here. About 1,000 distractions, enough to win. The turnovers created by the defense were awesome. Not turning the ball over offensively, huge. And to create another turnover on our punt team, Jamie, and being right there to make a play, man, just keep showing up. So really, really proud of that. Back to 5-5, one step closer to bowl eligibility, which is something we really want to be a.
When has Jamie Nance done that? Like 3 straight games, picking up muffed fumbles on punt plays by the other side. But again, now 1 win away from being bowl eligible with what the Aggies are. And tonight, one of their older rivals, San Jose State, comes to the stadium. Probably one of the coldest games we have seen in Logan in a long, long time. Kickoff time, it's supposed to be close to 22 degrees for the 7:45 start for FS1 television. Spartans got ripped by San Diego State last Saturday. Their coach Brent Brennan's team has suddenly lost a little swagger of what looked like a real promising year earlier. They are also looking for further to cement themselves in the spot of one of the 5 Mountain West Conference spots in a bowl game for sure. They're already bowl eligible with their record. They've only played an NCAA low 9 games so far this year. Remember, the New Mexico State game was postponed for them 4 weeks ago after their player Camden McWright was killed in that accident right near the San Jose State campus. And so they are playing for him the rest of the season. There's a CM6 that is on their uniforms. But guess what? The Aggies, again, Coach Anderson knows how people have reached out to him with his son's situation, with the mental illness things that the Aggies have done this year, other teams. He and the Aggies are wearing CM6 on their uniforms tonight. 11 seniors get their last home game tonight. They'll be honored before kickoff. So if you're going to the game, please take our KVNU Aggie Game Day with you. Be up there to give a round of applause to these seniors and their family. That, of course, they'll be shared on the field before the contest. And then, hopefully, we'll have a really good football game throughout the rest of the senior night tonight. Because this whole Aggie team, according to redshirt freshman Isaac Larson, is playing for those guys.
It's very important for the seniors. We're going to try to send them off the right way. We're going to do everything we can this week to game prep and game plan and just come out Saturday and play the best we can and hopefully come out with a win. So it's very important.
So let's get started talking about San Jose State, Utah State tonight on our Game 11 edition of KVNU Game Day. Also live on Sports Talk Radio, The Fan, 106.9 FM and 1390 AM. Hi, everybody. Al Lewis again, my partner Craig Hislop, here with me tonight. And brought to you tonight, all of this talk and information before the game by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. Remember, get with them and get a heating check on your heat unit to make sure it's ready to go for this winter. 752-7272. And White Pine Funeral Services, the primary provider for funeral and cremation services here in the Cache Valley area. WhitePineFunerals.com for more details. And we appreciate Thermo Fisher Scientific joining with us, making the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. So, Craig Hislop, let's get into this. 5-5 into tonight for our Aggies, looking for bowl eligibility. And again, it could get a little bit of tricky even if they get there, right? The way things are right now?
Yeah, and the field of the Mountain West Conference teams already bowl eligible is quite full. I mean, there's 6 teams that have already won 6 games. They are Boise State, Wyoming, Air Force, San Diego State, San Jose State, and Fresno State. There are 5 bowl games automatically aligned with our conference. The one in Albuquerque, the one in Honolulu, the Arizona Bowl, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise, and the Los Angeles-based Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. Nationwide, there are 43 bowl games. So with 2 teams matched up in each of those games, that means 86 of the 131 Division I teams in our level of college football will have the opportunity to play in a bowl game. So far, there are 65 bowl-eligible teams, and there are 20 more teams with 5-5 records, and another 16 teams that are 4-6 who still technically have a chance with a couple of weeks to go to become bowl eligible. So basically, we're talking about 36 teams eligible for 21 places. If it works out for the Aggies, if they do earn themselves a bowl spot, that would make 10 of the last 12 years USU has been bowl eligible. It's quite a contrast to producing 6 bowl-eligible teams in the first 119 years of Aggie football.
We never thought about it before, but Coach Anderson definitely is.
I'd love to take this group to a bowl and celebrate how hard they've worked and just keep building on what we're doing.
So Again, it was a win against the Spartans is what's needed for the Aggies to handle things themselves in this scenario, Craig, that you just laid out. So, Craig, somehow they found a way to hold on against Hawaii in that game last Saturday night to make this still possible.
Well, the one thing they did they haven't done all year, they led the whole way. The Aggies scored on the second offensive play of the game for the second game in a row. Got out to a 24-10 lead by the half. After three quarters, it's 34-17 Utah State. Hawaii scored on a 31-yard touchdown pass to make it 34-24, still early in the fourth. And that's when Ike Larson's 36-yard pick six return with about 4:33 left in the game made it 41-24, which was enough of a cushion, it turns out, for the win, even when Hawaii scored 10 points in the last 3.5 minutes. So in the end, Ike Larson making that play later in the game actually offset what the Hawaii offense did with an explosive 275 yards in the fourth quarter, which is hard for me to believe.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Aggie offensive total in the fourth quarter was a -4 yards with three and outs. And the Aggies gave up a sack on two of those three drives. But through that rough spot in the final quarter, the Aggies still won it. And again now, Ike Larson's pick six saved the game.
And let's have him talk about that last week.
That's just a game plan deal. We read the receiver splits all week, and, when the time came, we saw the split, and I seen it. I jumped the route, and so it's just all game plan stuff right there.
So great coaching, and they had him prepared, and he was prepared. But, hey, there's more to it, and we're going to talk more about that. Because, Craig, we love these kind of stories of our local players, and certainly, again, up on the hill right now, this redshirt freshman, Ike Larson, has been amazing with the results he's getting on the field.
And basically all this guy really wants is to get on the field, and he'll make plays. The pick six against Hawaii that we talked about and saving the game, it was his second interception of the game. He made 6 tackles. He had a sack. He had 2 tackles for loss to go with the 2 interceptions. He's had 2 blocked kicks this year. So this week he is the conference defensive player of the week, and for the second time, well deserved. He's the freshman of the week in the conference.
And he ends up he's third in this nation in block kicks, and he's 10th in interceptions up until now. But again, like I said, there's players who are good players, but there's guys that just seem to have a little extra, right, Coach?
The moment does not seem to be too big for him. He loves to compete, loves the game. Always plays a game with a big smile on his face, which is makes the guys around him better.
No doubt about that Ike makes this team better, and we're great to see that. But again, hopefully it'll be a few more years of Ike Larson, because tonight we're going to center in now on the 10 seniors playing their last home game tonight. They're going out on Merlin Olsen Field, probably about an hour and 10, 15 minutes from now, so we hope you'll go early. Some, Craig, have seen the best year ever for the Aggies. They've been here reported of that. Some guys in that segment of time have also seen some real lows with their career.
It's amazing. Some go back to the 2018 season, Matt Wells' last season, 11-2, New Mexico Bowl champs. The 2020 COVID season was a downer for him. Then last year's amazing comeback season, 11-3, conference champs, Jimmy Kimmel Bowl champions. And then that was the win over Oregon State. So this is a group that hopes to finish their careers by leading the Aggies to another bowl game, which can happen this year. It's an impressive list with quarterback Logan Bonner of Rowlett, Texas. He spent 5 seasons at Arkansas State with Coach Anderson, then 2 more here at USU. Unfortunately, injuries kind of wiped out this last year for him. Wide receivers Brian Cobbs, Alexandria, Virginia guy who spent 4 years at Maryland before a transfer to Utah State. Tampa, Florida's Justin McGriff, who is finishing up his 3rd season at USU. And then the offensive linemen, 3 of them. Chandler Dolphin from Sandy, Utah, closing out his 6th year in the program. Redlands, California's Alfred Edwards, who his time at USU goes all the way back to 2017 when he was a redshirt. And so that adds up to 6 years at USU. And Jacob South, who spent 4 seasons at USU, coming from Anacortes, Washington. Also the place kicker Connor Coles of Bozeman, Montana, finishing his 6th year at Utah State. Running back Calvin Tyler Jr., Beaumont, Texas guy, who spent 4 seasons at Oregon State and then 2021 and 22 here in Logan. And then just 2 on defense, the cornerback Andre Grayson, from Rancho Cucamonga, California, whose 6 years at USU included 2017 redshirt year, and safety Hunter Reynolds, 4 years at Michigan, and then the last 2 seasons here at USU, a guy out of South Orange, New Jersey.
So those are the 10 seniors. Again, get up there and let them hear from you as they go out on this cool night into the field for the last time at up at Merlin Olsen Field at Maverick Stadium. Tonight, Craig, it is San Jose as the opponent, 6-3 overall, 4-2 in the West. And they come in, their season has been a little bit of a rocky year, but they've been able to get bowl eligible already. Tell us about their year.
At one point in the season, their offense was throwing the ball really well. Their defense was taking care of business. They have come nowhere close to running for even 100 yards in 6 of their 9 games, though, including the last 4 games. And here in the late season, in the last couple of games anyway, they aren't getting quite as much out of their passing game. And on defense, in their last 2 games against Colorado State and San Diego State, both of those opponents have run up more than 400 yards on total offense. And
on a really good defense, supposed to be.
Well, yeah. So that hadn't happened all year until now. So San Jose State came into this year with all 11 of their defensive starters returning from that 2020 team, really talented on defense. But by the time they played the Aggies last year, remember, these guys were slowed by injuries, but they had expected to be solid on that side of the ball this year. Now, the quarterback, Chev Cordero, transfer from Hawaii, is the league's top passer with over 2,400 yards in 9 games. A wide receiver, Elijah Cooks, who came over from Nevada, 5th in catches and 3rd in reception yardage in the Mountain West. Big defensive end, Viliami Fihoko, is 1st in the league in tackles for loss, 5th in sacks, and the Spartans' tackles leader with 74 tackles is the linebacker, Kyle Harmon, and, of course, the coach. One of our favorites, Brent Brennan, 6th year. He's a San Jose native, San Jose State graduate. He came off of Gary Anderson's Oregon State staff to take over at his alma mater in 2017, and it was a rough start. They were 3-22 his first 2 years, and then 2019 started a turnaround that led to a league championship in 2020. Right now, he has them, as you said, tied for 2nd in the West, 6-3, a game behind Fresno State, with games left against the Aggies tonight and Hawaii next week. And so you look at it like that and say they're pretty good shape for a bowl.
And the thing is, I just thought of this. This is the last 2 conference champions facing each other. 2020, they were the champs. 2021, right. The Aggies champions. And Brent Brennan into the stadium tonight.
This is an incredible challenge for us. Blake Anderson and that staff do a great job. I've known Blake for a long time. He's an excellent coach and one of the best human beings I know. And so it's going to be an incredible challenge for our team to go on the road and
So you'll be talking to Coach later on with your interview from Las Vegas this year. You've been 2-0 in your game prediction since I started to pin you down to ask you for this. Now, last week, 30-17 at Hawaii was your prediction. It looked pretty good until we had that 4th quarter. So how do you see? This is a tough one to select tonight. The Aggies and Spartans it's rated by the odds makers as a very close game.
I do not understand how San Jose State goes to Laramie and runs for 142 yards and 3 touchdowns, and 7 days later runs for 203 yards and 3 more touchdowns against UNLV and beats them both. These are teams the Aggies couldn't beat this year. I know Aggie quarterback
injuries. They beat
injuries.
them good, too, both
yeah,
of them. Yeah,
well, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't account for that. San Jose State looks totally one-dimensional to me. I mean, we talked earlier, they don't run it really well. They haven't run the ball against anybody else other than those 2 I just talked about. They average 82 rushing yards a game. Their quarterback's the best passer in the league. I mentioned that. He rarely throws an interception. They're pretty competitive on the road. And then the other thing I'm trying to figure out, what happened in the 4th quarter last week on both sides of the ball for the Aggies? The only reason I have hope, because I'm worried about this game, is if the Spartans on defense, they've given up massive yards the last 2 games. And I'm worried if Cooper Legault can outshoot Chev Cordero, I'll feel better. And then I'll feel like the Aggies could win at 35-30.
Wow, you're going high scoring in this one. 35-30 on a cold night up at the stadium. Aggies win. That's Craig's prediction. We hope that is exactly right. Thanks, Craig. Our featured Aggie today, one of the for the 10 seniors that have been here 6 years. We'll be talking to Alfred Edwards later on.
When you're being recruited in high school, that's a really big decision. I definitely feel like I made a really good decision, one of the best decisions of my life to come to Utah State.
Isn't that great? And we seem to be enjoying hearing from Ike Larson lately. We love it on the field more than hearing him, but we'll hear more. Cooper Lagar, our quarterback, his senior night teammate, of course. Logan Bonner is out there on the field. And Craig is going to come back, and he and I are going to talk about a man who, again, was so known to us for so long. He was Mr. San Jose State to us, no doubt. And you probably don't even know who he is, but we're going to tell you more about this personality guy who passed away in this last year, a guy we always connected with, San Jose State and Lawrence fan. It's all coming up again on KVNU Aggie Game Day. Thank you for joining with us on this cold night. Get all warmed up, or be in your car, or hopefully you're around maybe something cooking up there in the stadium. If you are tailgating, listen to us so you're staying warm. Blankets and coats are needed tonight. Kickoff time, 22 degrees is what's forecast. Hey, HSA Depot is one of our sponsors. You can conquer your healthcare needs there. Your HSA or FSA, you can buy your medical supplies at HSA Depot. And by Les Olson Company, you can get a free assessment of your risk of your ransomware attacks for your business if you want with Les Olson. Go to lesolson.com to find out more, your office technology partner. They bring you our game day. We're live on The Fan, our sports talk station here in the area, and live on the station you can hear wherever you are, before or after Aggie games, where, of course, you can't hear the Aggie football game on the radio very easily. It is on TV tonight, FS1. It'll start about 7:45. My guess, it will be on FS2 for a while, because I think they have another game that just started at 5 o'clock. But it's the Aggies and San Jose tonight. Game day continues.
For over 20 years, Aegis Home Health and Hospice has been providing health care to Cache, Box Elder, and Rich counties. Whatever or wherever your health care needs, Aegis' goal is to meet those needs. Aegis Home Health and Hospice core values are character, experience, and trust. Aegis, AEGIS, striving to provide the health care services you need. Aegis Home Health and Hospice. Call 723-9000 or find them at myaegis.com.
This is Chris from the Cater Shop Menswear Store. We believe how you look is the first message you deliver. This also includes our floors at the store. Daryl at Chem Drive Northern Utah and his team came in after hours, cleaned the entire store, and had it ready to go before we opened the next day. I trust Daryl and his team from Chem Drive Northern Utah.
Chem Drive of Northern Utah. Chem Drive of Northern Utah. 435-752-6100.
Clean it up and get it out before the snow flies. Don't wait another winter. Let DD Auto and Salvage pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles by paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Nothing compares to the warmth and feel that a wood stove provides. The two-time Best of Northern Utah winning team says there's never been a better time to replace your old inefficient wood stove and install a new energy-efficient EPA-certified Vermont casting wood product in your home. The U.S. government is offering federal tax credits of 26% on your wood stove install. For Vermont casting units, that includes stoves, venting, and labor. Call or email Advanced Fireplace and Stove for a free in-home estimate. Call 435-752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
KVNU Game Day returns with a voice of the Aggies, Al Lewis.
Yeah, obviously a rough start to the season. I think it's good to finally be back, having an even record. Hopefully we can finish these last 2 weeks right and finish with a winning record. So that's the plan right now.
Cooper Laga, as Craig detailed, our bowl game situation going in at 5-5 with the rest of the 5-5 in college football. You get to 6-5 though, and you got a pretty good chance to get into a bowl game, and that's what the Aggies tried to do tonight. Have you watched college football today? And then, of course, today and next weekend are kind of the interesting winding down of this season, which has been a little bit of an up and down season in a lot of ways. Kind of rivalry week. Next week, there's a few of those tonight, Oklahoma State, and there's been a few others and all of that. But have you noticed, I noticed in the Baylor-TCU game that TCU pulled out on a last-second field goal, unbelievable, to stay undefeated, and the number 4 team in the playoff rankings right now. and they pulled it off against Baylor by just 1 today. But even those people had on sweatshirts down in Texas. It's cold everywhere. I mean, not just at Maverick Stadium tonight for this game against San Jose State. I mean, it's really cold. You could tell back at in Michigan and in where else did I notice the game? Even in the South, a lot of the places were supposed to be about as cold as it could be. And so, again, we've got everybody in college football this week, of course, has been teaming up with Virginia. 3 of their players murdered by this former player at the school, a 4th one wounded. All the ACC teams are honoring them with a decal. Their Coastal Carolina game was canceled today. And then next week, they haven't decided yet for Virginia Tech. Did you hear a shooting at the campus of New Mexico after their football game last night, which San Diego State beat them last night in football, 34-10. There was a shooting on campus, and they have canceled their basketball game tonight, at least right now postponed with New Mexico State that they were going to play there tonight. The CPF rankings, college football playoff rankings, are pretty interesting. You got Utah and Oregon playing each other tonight up at Oregon, but I don't know if Bo Nix is playing or not, and should be Cam Rising back for Utah in their game. No real big upsets. All the top 4 did win at the top of the playoff rankings, but Michigan pulled it out at the end, and TCU pulled it out at the end, or they would have lost. Georgia beat Kentucky only 16-6. Ohio State did beat Maryland at 43-30. BYU beat Utah Tech today, 52-26. It was 28-20 at the half in that game. Army beat UConn, but UConn 6-6. The team that we started the year with a win. They're bowl eligible. Montana State beat Montana. Did you see College Game Day in cold Bozeman today? 55-21. They routed them. They're 8-0 in Big Sky play. And Weber finished off 9-2 in the regular season with their 33-31 win over Northern Arizona today in that game going on. So that kind of gets you updated on everything where we are, except for halftime, 10-6. Wyoming leads Boise State at the half in that game over at Laramie. Already, Wyoming has rushed the ball for quite a bit against Boise State, who's one of the better rushing defensive teams in the country. So, again, we'll see. I noticed that one time this week, San Jose was a 1-point favorite. I see right now the Aggies are a 1-point favorite for this game tonight. We mentioned the conference honors for Ike Larson last week, Defensive Player of the Week, Freshman of the Week. 10th leading tackler on our team. He has he has 3 tackles for a loss. There's only 6 guys on the team that better than that this year. 2 sacks, is tied for 2nd on the team. 4 interceptions, 2nd in the Mountain West, 10th in the nation. 2 block kicks against Alabama and UNLV. 14 tackles the last 2 games as a starter. No doubt about it, Coach Anderson. Ike Larson, who was the Skyview grad, but he was at Logan High 1 year, so he belongs to all of us here, all of us Aggie fans. We're talking about just a super, super individual player.
Yeah, he is. We joke about him either being just super calm in the moment and just having a poise that most young guys don't, or maybe he's so young he doesn't even realize he should be nervous. I don't know which it is, but he's a very gifted player. He's gaining confidence, by the play. The moment does not seem to be too big for him. He loves to compete, loves the game, always plays the game with a big smile on his face, which is makes the guys around him better. And we don't win the game without the plays that he made Saturday night. He came up big in really big situations, and I keep saying this. He's got a very bright future ahead of him here, and love the fact that he's from the Valley and loves being here, loves being a part of it. It was never in question that this is what he wanted to do. You see it on the field, in my opinion.
Remember, number 19, Ike Larson, if you were with us after the Hawaii game early Sunday morning, he told us that play he made, the pick six that was the winning points in the game, was really just, again, great preparation, game planning, coaching, all of those things.
We studied the splits. Coach Bond is really hard on us for that, and I saw they would split outside, so we knew what routes that could come off that. And so I just knew he was going to run the out route, and so I just jumped the route, and it was history from there. So.
What's great is he took it to the house, 36 yards, and right there in the stands, he was pointing at his family and his friends.
Yeah, actually, I pointed at all my family. I had about 20 of my family members there, so it was pretty dope being able to go in that corner and see them like that. So.
Remember last week we talked to him on game day before the Hawaii victory. He told us about loving football so much, helped out by his father, wanting to always get the ball, even if it's on defense or on offense, and he's done that. And his struggle last season for not being able to play because he's a competitor, and he had a tough time the redshirt year. But that's why getting this victory tonight personally is a big deal for him because, again, he wants a bowl game trip.
It would be awesome. Like, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go last year, but so this would be my first bowl game. But that's our goal. That's our goal, and we all want it. So we just got to put in the work, and if we don't put in the work, then of course we're not gonna be able to get there. But it'll be cool if we can get a bowl game.
And last week in that interview, one thing I wanted to talk about, we didn't have enough time to do it, but after 2 punt blocks in 3 games earlier this year, does he now get attention like when they line up the Aggies to go against another team who's punting the ball? Is everybody pointing at him saying, hey, there's 19, look out for him?
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny. I was talking to somebody from Hawaii after the game, and he's just like, we've keyed you on every special teams, every punt. So yeah, teams have definitely picked up that we're trying to get a block, and so now I don't know. It's kind of sad that I can't block anymore, but it's pretty cool being I guess noticed, like you said. I guess I don't know. It's just cool to be able to have that type of impact on people.
To be game planned against for a special teams play. That's what they've had to do. 2 block kicks, number 3 in the nation right now. So he is now a starter at safety. Gervin Hall no longer a part of the team. So he gets more time on the field, more shots at making what it is all about for him is plays to help the Aggies win. I mean, he's now 10 games into his Aggie career.
It's been good. Like I've been prepared. I don't want to say I knew this was going to happen, but like I knew, like, if it's like the next man up mentality. So just got to be prepared, and when your time comes, you got to take advantage of it and do the best you can.
That's Ike Larson again, watching the Spartans quarterback Chev Cordeiro everywhere on the field tonight. Cordero, for sure, trying to make another big play, which he will be in on, I'm sure, if he's out there tonight. KVNU Aggie Game Day, also live on Sports Talk Radio, The Fan. San Jose State, Utah State, of course, tonight. Next up, it is the senior night tonight, and I talked to one of the rare, over the years, 6-year guys. Of course, COVID makes it possible as the answer for most people for that. Aggies left tackle Alfred Edwards will be coming up tonight.
You know, they have a really good front. You know, I feel like we're ready for it. We're going to prepare like we prepare every week.
What do you remember about the game had one of your great offensive games of the year last?
I remember, you know, us being us, you know. Ever since Coach J been here, we've been down a lot and still won games, you know.
The Aggies were down 14-0 and blitzed them last year. So, again, Alfred Edwards interview. And then also talking seniors. So Cooper Legas gets a chance to tell us about Logan Bonner.
It's like having another coach in the room, or he has experience and has been around college football a long time. So just when he feels like he can help, he's right there to help any of us out with. It's been good having him around, even though he's not on the field.
So stay with us for more. We've got a little more than an hour to go before the kickoff at 7:45 or thereabouts on FS1 TV tonight. We hope, again, if you're going to the stadium, bundle up. One of the colder games we've had in a long, long time. Down now to 23 here at the Radio Ranch up on the hill. It might be a little cooler than that. Remember, ChemDry of Northern Utah. They use the hot carbonating extraction method with their green certified solution. It delivers a deeper, longer-lasting clean. And they remove 99% of pet odors from carpets as well. That's ChemDry of Northern Utah. Aegis Home Health and Hospice, AEGIS. Go to myaegis.com or call 723-9000. As, again, they provide nursing services and health care to Cache, Box Elder, Rich counties. And Young Truck and Trailer Center is your place for your flatbed work trucks, the trucks you need to haul around your snowmobiles on, any gear around. Remember, they also make all kinds of trailers of all kinds there and sell them at Young Truck and Trailer Center, 2900 South Highway 89. One of our game day sponsors here on The Fan and KVNU before the Aggies and Spartans tonight.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
Hi, this is James with White Pine Funerals. We're excited to host our annual holiday concert featuring a choir and musical ensemble by Jay Richards. All are welcome to attend free of charge. We extend a special invitation to anyone who is missing a loved one this holiday season. Food donations are encouraged at the door for the Cache Food Pantry. Back-to-back performances will take place at White Pine on Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. That's Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. or 8:30 p.m.
This is Zach with HSA Depot. Christmas is nearly here. Make sure you be merry and bright by using your pre-tax funds on your medical needs. We know your regular holiday budget is disappearing quick, so instead, save money by using your pre-tax income to buy qualifying medical supplies. HSA Depot carries hundreds of unique and dashing eligible products to help you conquer your healthcare. Come to HSA Depot next to Sally Beauty Supply and see how much you can save this holiday season. HSA Depot, 5-star review.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. My wife and I were laughing the other day because she read an article about things not to buy online. The first thing was prom dresses. Dresses advertised versus dresses delivered. Needless to say, what people thought they were getting is not what they got. It's much the same with mattresses. Almost always, buying a mattress online ends in buyers being let down. At My Mattress, we try to always exceed expectations. Lower prices than online, and better beds. Only at My Mattress.
It's engagement season. Time to find the perfect ring. S.E. Needham Jewelers is known for beautifully cut diamonds at excellent prices. Guys, the sparkle is what matters most in the diamond you give your sweetheart. Our diamonds stand apart from those of other stores. Come view our diamonds under magnification. Select a diamond that fits your budget and then have it mounted in a ring that she'll love. Remember, you get S.E. Needham quality at internet pricing. Open Monday through Saturday 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
KVNU Game Day returns with Al Lewis and Craig Hislop.
Definitely, especially when we play our game, football we know how to play. That's when things happen like that for us, and feel like we got back to ourselves tonight. And like I said, we'll get back to the drawing board and get better. So it feels great tonight, like definitely.
That was Calvin Tyler Jr. after last week's win against Hawaii, where for 3 quarters it looked like Utah State had the game in hand and it dominated, and then all of a sudden couldn't move it offensively, 3 and outs, and defensively gave up tons of yards. And fortunately, Ike Larson got the pick 6 in there, or the Aggies might have given up a big lead and maybe not won that game against Hawaii last week. I just want to get you updated. Boise State is down 10-6 at Wyoming at the half. Again, if Wyoming wins, they can win next week against Fresno and represent the Mountain Division in the conference championship game. Now, they've got to play Fresno at Fresno next week. And that could be a preview of the championship game. Again, if they beat Fresno next week, then they turn around and play the next week, probably against Fresno. Or, there's still a chance for San Jose to get in there. Not much of a chance. There's a chance, though, if they do win tonight in this game, and then hope that Wyoming beats them next week, and then San Jose would get in. So there's still incentive for them there. But Boise's dominated the first half, 285 yards to 140. They have 153 passing. Wyoming only has 10. Andrew Peasley's not playing. He's hurt in the game. But Wyoming has rushed the ball decently in the game right now. Utah plays later tonight in their game, and the other conference games also get started later tonight, including this Aggie-San Jose game. Calvin Tyler Jr. is one of 10 Utah State seniors that'll be honored here, in about maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes up at the stadium. Calvin, of course, transferred from Oregon State. Of course, how great was it for him to beat the Beavers in that L.A. Bowl game last year? A huge game, I'm sure, for him. He's now in his second year for the Aggies. And so are Logan Bonner and Hunter Reynolds out of this group. Tyler happy to get back to the 100-yard club against Hawaii last Saturday. He's done that 5 times this year. Tyler, again, 853 yards this year, 147 from being the 19th ever 1,000-yard rusher for Utah State in the season. He's 13th all-time. He is 37th in the country right now.
It feels great, most definitely. And like I said, I got to give all the credit to the good Lord and also my O-line, wide receivers out there. It feels great coming back and being able to rush for 100 yards. And
again, it's fortunate that he's back because Robert Briggs, the freshman, got injured his shoulder in the game. And he is now out for the rest of the year for Utah State after an outstanding freshman year, backing up Calvin Tyler and Robert Briggs. So Briggs is out tonight, so maybe we see Gentry, maybe we see Wilmore. The guy at one time was at Utah, Fresno, now to here, that's Wilmore. Situation we'll have to wait and see. But Coach Anderson, again, has 10 going out on the field at Merlin Olsen Field for the last time tonight in this senior group.
I've been really pleased, to take – this is a class that, 6 guys were left from other recruiting classes with either Matt or Gary. I don't know exactly how they all got here. We brought 5 transfers in to fill in the class to create 11. You want double that number at minimum. You want 20-plus seniors in each group if you can. So it's a little unique that it's a small class and a blended class, but they've been phenomenal. They helped us win a championship a year ago. They fought through 1 and 4 to put us in a position here down the stretch to be bowl eligible. They've been through a lot. Some of these guys have been through 2 other head coaches, including myself. To have 3 head coaches in your collegiate career, that's not easy. That's a lot of transition, a lot of new personalities, and they've just continued to come to work every day. So really pleased with them. Alfred, Dolph, Hunter's a guy that we brought in. Cobb coming in for 1 year. It's a really I got 7 years out of Logan Bonner, and I know it ended in an injury. Just a really great group of dudes that bring a ton of positive to the room, bought into what we asked them to do, and are going to leave with a championship, at least one. If I'm not sure, some of them maybe were a part of some other big games and championships before, but like the fact that they're leaving here with at least one championship, and love to find a way to get them to a bowl here down the stretch.
Craig counted them down for us earlier, but again, Andre Grayson, 6 years. We also have 6 years out of Chandler Dolphin. We have 6 years Alfred Edwards, 6 years Connor Coles. We have 5 years out of Jacob South at Utah State, 3 years out of Justin McGriff, and then 2 years out of Reynolds and Bonner and Tyler, and then 1 year out of, again, the receiver. And we're talking about, again, a guy who has come in from the University of Maryland. Again, we're talking about Brian Cobbs. And he has really put in the work. In fact, right from the start, Cooper Legas told us this week that he has been here to make a difference at Utah State.
I think since the day he got here, he's led by example, just working hard every day. And he really dove into the offense when he got here, learned everything really fast. And then obviously this season he's helped our team out a lot, making a bunch of big plays and really being there whenever the offense needs him. So it's been awesome for me and the offense as a whole just to have him and out there making big plays every week. So it's been awesome with Cobbs out there.
Most no doubt about it. Brian Cobbs has been big. And more of Cooper's thoughts on Logan Bonner, the quarterback who he replaced for that BYU game, recall. And, of course, he's gone 4-1 as a starter since Logan went out.
Really good friends with Logan on and off the field in meetings. I'm around him all day, every day. He's in the quarterback meetings, just giving his input. He's sort of turned into like a GA at this point since he can't be on the field. So it's like having another coach in the room or just being around. And he has experience and has been around college football a long time. So just when he feels like he can help, he's right there to help any of us out with whoever's in or whoever's playing. So it's been good having him around, even though he's not on the field.
And up front, in front of either Legas or, of course, Logan Bonner earlier, even before, Jordan Love as well. He actually did play offensive line for Jordan Love. We're talking about 6'7", 325-pounder, number 72, Alfred Edwards. Redlands, California, I believe, is his home. And he is my Aggie interview for tonight's game on his senior night, brought to you by Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic and Hearing Aid Center. They're in that new state-of-the-art facility, the Three Peaks Medical Facility, 2255 North, 400 East in North Logan. They're also in Providence on Gateway Drive, again, over in Providence. So I talked to him on the field the other day. Alfred Edwards, I don't know if anybody's going to ever play in Utah State more football games than you will end up playing. You might hold the record for that.
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment for me. I've been here a really long time, so that's a part of it, but it's been a great ride for sure.
So, we're not saying this is the end. We're hoping there's lots more to go, and for you maybe in your career as well. But, as you get to the end of this Utah State thing, like I talked to you about before the season started, this has been really special for you, not only football, but academics and everything else in your life.
Yeah, it's been a great experience here at Utah State. My thing was I wanted to take full advantage of it. I'm about to come out with 2 degrees, play, I don't even know how many games at this point. So, yes, it's definitely been a great experience.
I think you just started your 50th, and I think you played about 52 or 53 games, I think, something like that in your career. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Now, you've seen a lot, too. Has some of the hard times been great learning experiences, you think, for your life in the future?
Oh, definitely. Overcoming all the, adversity, that's what makes you a good person, You got to just overcome everything bad, and then when everything's good, you got to enjoy it.
The other thing, though, is nobody will ever be the first-time Mountain West champion like you will be. And again, that feeling has to be great too.
Exactly. That is a great feeling. Last season was a great season, but we just got to finish this one off right.
So where is everybody still in good spirits towards getting this thing done like you want to get done?
Oh, of course. Every week, our goal has been be 1-0. So it's the same thing this week for San Jose.
Mm-hmm. And Coach talked about it. You had a tough time. I mean, Hawaii's defensive line put pressure on you guys last week. Week before, New Mexico was interesting, and San Jose likes to do that as well, right? It's a challenging game, isn't it, for the offensive line?
Oh yeah, definitely. They have a really good front. All Mountain West guys, but I feel like we're ready for it. We're going to prepare like we prepare every week, and we're going to go out and play our butts off.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember about the game last year? You guys got down in the game, didn't quit in the game, and eventually had one of your great offensive games of the year last year. What do you remember of that game?
I remember, us being us. Ever since Coach Jay been here, we've been down a lot and still won games. So that's just really the spirit of this team. We never give up. In the fourth quarter, that's a lot of times that's where we shine. So that's really who we are in our DNA.
Well, I hope it goes well for this senior game. Is some of your family to come for senior game?
Oh yeah, my dad's gonna come. I'll have my girlfriend with me too, so it's gonna be a pretty good time.
That's very good. And look at all the people you've met over the years being here this long at Utah State, and coaching staffs and coaches you've had. You've gone through a lot of that too, Alfred.
Yeah, it's definitely been a great time meeting literally like hundreds of people by the time I'm done here. So I made a lot of connections. I made a lot of lifelong friendships, and it's been a great time.
So in the end, are you going to feel real positive about all your years at Utah State? Look back on it always fondly about coming to Logan, Utah from Southern California?
Oh, of course. When you're being recruited in high school, that's a really big decision. I definitely feel like I made a really good decision, one of the best decisions of my life to come to Utah State.
I appreciate what you've done. Alfred, good luck to you again in this game, next week, the rest of this season, and in your life, okay?
All right, thank you.
I think when we added it up after I talked to Alfred, Dimitrik Aliafua is going to play more games than anybody. And Alfred's got a chance. If he'll start tonight, start Boise State, start a bowl game, he'll get close to Tyler Larson's all-time start record at Utah State. I think that is on the books. KVNU Aggie Game Day. We're also live on the Fan tonight, 7:45 kickoff for the San Jose State-Utah State game at the stadium. It's now 23, so it's continuing to drop. Like we said, a cold night. Make sure you got plenty of blankets, coats. Then go up there and really cheer on these seniors. They'll be on the field here within about, 35 minutes, 40 minutes or so. Get up there early. Aggies have won 9 straight in this series against the Spartans, 4 in a row at Logan. The average score in that time has been 44-19, but it hasn't always been that way. And we'll talk about that next as Craig has his interview with Coach Brent Brennan, and we highlight how we lost a friend in the business, Craig and I did, and lots of you behind the scenes. You don't know how much information we got from Lawrence Fan down through the years. Our game day is sponsored by the Riverwoods Conference Center. It's the holiday season just around the corner. If you need a meeting room or a banquet room for your company get-together, see if you can take care of that there. And they do have some, they have Thanksgiving dinner and some Thanksgiving dinner opportunities for you. So check at the Elements Restaurant for that. And also brought to you by DD Auto and Salvage. They're going to pay you the most for any junk vehicle you have. You got another season where all the junk cars are in your yard or lot. Get paid the most for them right now, and they'll get rid of your junk vehicles. Call them Monday, 787-1204 for DD Auto and Salvage. Bringing you game day here on KVNU and the Fan Live.
We're heading into some crazy weather this winter, which means power outages. Tyler and his team at Golden Spike Electric can install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home so you can avoid issues when the power goes out. If you have one already, Golden Spike Electric can maintain your Generac automatic standby generator for you. Find them online at gsegenerators.com or call 435-257-3016. Golden Spike Electric and Generac automatic standby generators. Power you can count on.
With inflation at record highs, why buy new if you can repair your current machine? Daryl's Appliances factory-trained technicians spend hundreds of hours in training each year to ensure your appliance is repaired right the first time. You can have peace of mind. They offer no-risk service, meaning if you want to purchase new instead of repair, you can apply up to $95 of your service call towards an appliance purchase. See store for details. Daryl's West on Airport Road, open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Alpine Home Medical on News Talk KVNU and Sports Talk Radio, The Fan.
They're good offensively. They got a lot of weapons. Their receivers are pretty good. So we just got to come out and really just play lockdown defense and have minimum mistakes and just keep the quarterback contained, and I think we'll be good.
There is Ike Larson ready to start his third game tonight for the Aggies at safety against this San Jose State offense. And the Spartans of San Jose, I would say, are maybe the most complimentary team in the Mountain West Conference is the way I'd put it. I mean by that, they are 31 in the nation as far as their passing attack, and they have a solid offensive points per game average. They're not great at running the football. A lot of that is quarterback sacks they've had against them. But they're number 19 in only allowing 19 points a game on defense. So, pretty good offense, pretty good defense, maybe the most complimentary team. The first coach to lead them to 2 bowl games in years is Brent Brennan, their current coach. And Craig got all the lowdown from him earlier this year when he talked to him in Las Vegas.
Coming up November 19th in Logan, the 41st ever meeting between San Jose State and the Aggies. Brent Brennan is 6 years head coach. San Jose State, former assistant to Gary Anderson. We talked about that before. I don't think we've talked about in previous visits. 2 of your coaches we got to know really well, members of the Aggie coaching staff, and Kevin McGibbon and Derek Odom. These are your coordinators now.
Yeah, that's right. Both those guys have been with us for 4 and 5 years, and they both do a great job. Funny that you mentioned Gary Anderson. We all worked for Gary at Oregon State together, and that kind of started our relationship. And when I took this job, McGibbon wasn't able to come with us at the beginning, but he was available the next year, and so he joined us. But Derek Odom is an awesome football coach, great man. He's done a great job with our defense. I think we're getting better every year. I think we've played really good football, defensive football at times, and so those guys, they talk fondly of their time there in Logan. Yeah.
Last game last year, Aggies. It was a late season game, November 13th in San Jose. I remember that about mid-season, you guys lost a 2 overtime game at San Diego State, picked up some momentum against the Aggies. You were still playing for a winning season, and that's the way the season was going at that point. What do you remember about that game with the Aggies?
Well, I thought that they played really, really well. There's a couple things we did in that game that really hurt us and flipped the game. I think in the second quarter we were up 14-0. Then we had a turnover deep in our territory, led to quick points, and then we got beat up top for a bunch of deep balls. Bonner played fantastic. All those receivers from them were so good. They did a really, really good job, and that was it. All of a sudden, we couldn't move it, and the game got ugly. It was a really, really frustrating day for us.
Fast forward to this year, you've got another quarterback, Chev Cordero, 3-year starter at Hawaii, transfers in. What did you think of him with your time with him so far?
We're really excited about him as a thrower. He's really accurate, really strong arm. That was our first time playing against Chevin at Hawaii in 2019. I think he threw for 350 against us. So we're excited that Chevin's with us. He's an awesome young man. He'll be around here tomorrow. You guys will get a chance to talk to him, but he's doing great.
Tell us about your defense in the off-season.
Yeah. So we're excited about the defense. Defense is a lot of the same group that was there last year, really for since 2020, and we were getting some guys back from injury. We lost some key players last year injury-wise, but I think that coming into this fall camp, we feel really good about our defensive front, our D-line, linebacking group, our secondary. So this is going to be a really fun defensive football team to watch.
Kyle Harmon, senior linebacker from Antioch.
Yeah, Kyle's unbelievable. I think he led the conference in tackles last year. Back-to-back first-team all-conference player in 20 and 21. And he's just a really tough kid, loves it. It's very important to him. He's awesome. He's a really good leader for our team. He does a bunch of cool stuff. He's interning with the Campbell Police Department in the summertime, so he wants to go to a job in law enforcement. He just has his stuff together, and he's been a great player and a great kid in our program.
One other thing, and this is everybody I've run into. I've been in this league with the Aggies and before and all that a long time. Most people are talking about, a guy that we met. I met him when he was the SID at LaSalle. Yeah. Before he even came to San Jose State. Yeah. Lawrence Fan. Yeah. We lost him.
Yeah. Everyone misses Lawrence. Today was always a fun day for me because I got to spend all this time with Lawrence, and he was running around and texting me and like, "Where are you? And you should be at this." And and also Marcus Arroyo, the head coach at UNLV, played at San Jose State.
Yes.
And coached at San Jose State, so he knows Lawrence. And then everyone has known Lawrence for so long, 42 years at one institution. So we really miss him. He's a really, really special man. I got my ribbon on for him.
Okay.
But I love Lawrence, and I really, really miss him.
We all do. We're going to see you November 19th in Logan, Coach.
Yes.
Good talking to you. Good luck this year.
We'll bring the sunshine. Thank you.
Okay. Bringing the sunshine. It was there today, but it didn't get that warm now the game tonight. The sadness, of course, there about the guy we're talking about. I want to center in on that in just a moment. We need to pause, though, at the station for station identification. At the top of the hour, you're listening to our KVNU Game Day.
News Talk KVNU Logan, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Sports Talk Radio, KLGN Logan, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Yeah, speaking of the Fan, the man who was the Fan is Lawrence Fan, who was their sports information director, media relations director at San Jose State for a long, long time, as Craig and Coach Brennan were talking about. So they were talking about that in the summer, and then since then, of course, they have lost a football player during the season in this Camden McKnight in that accident. We're going to detail that with the coach a little bit later on when we get to our coaches segment tonight, but they were referring to this longtime media relations guy. Lawrence Fan was a gem. He was so unique, so thorough to help you. When it got to be game week, when the Aggies would play San Jose State, about the first call I'd get that week would be from Lawrence. What do you want? What do you need to be able to cover the Spartans against the Aggies this week? That was football and basketball. The stories, and he had many, many stories he told us, and the memory that he had. He could always remember back to specific details and things like that. That's why sports information, doing all the stats, the notes, and things like that was great for him. He was quite a stylish guy. You always knew he was there because he had on a tie with a nice long-sleeve shirt and the vest out of a three-piece suit. That's what his signature look was. So, again, his love to work to keep us was always really great update to cover the Spartans. But Craig Hislop knew him better and longer than I did. So I'm glad I had the opportunity, and Craig, I know, did as well.
Al, I met Lawrence in December of 1979, 43 years ago. Aggie basketball was playing in a holiday tournament at the University of New Mexico. I was the sports information director at Utah State. He had the same job at LaSalle University of Philadelphia. And the first thing I remember was a Thursday night banquet before the tournament. Each school was asked to send a representative to the front of the auditorium to see who could eat the largest amount of one of the famous New Mexico hot sauces. So 3 schools sent up an assistant coach or a trainer or something. LaSalle sent up this skinny, rather young-looking Chinese-American man, Lawrence Fan. The other 3 couldn't make it past a teaspoon or 2 of this stuff. Lawrence kept sipping it, unfazed. He was declared the winner of the contest. I don't know why I remember that. Just because I would have never done that, and he did it without a problem. And it wasn't too much after that. He got the SID job at San Jose State. That was 1980, and it was great for him because he was a San Francisco native. The Aggies had just joined the Pacific Coast Athletic Association a couple of years before, so I would see him several times a year for the next 40 years or so. And I remember the characteristic vest that he wore with his suit to every event I attended with him. He would always bake the fan cake, and it was always available in the press box or press room at basketball events, sometimes football events at San Jose State. And as the SID, you run the press box And he always expected and demanded the best of decorum from the writers and broadcasters when they were working in his press box. He did not put up with any funny business, and all the services that the media thought they needed, his workers provided in that press box. At the end of the 2021 football season, by the way, he had attended his 501st consecutive Spartan football game. He was a quirky guy. One time at dinner somewhere, he ordered clam chowder, and he told the waitress he only wanted it brought to the table if it was thick enough that a spoon would stand straight up in it. And as I remember, that was the way that it came to the table. Every time we were together, Al, he would introduce me as Craig from Utah State. He would always say, he's my brother from another mother. Lawrence died in February of this year. He was 67 years old.
Yeah, it's just sad to know that he died, but again, he kept doing what he loved to do. It was really something, again, to be around him. Okay, this matchup tonight, and again, that's for me and Craig. A lot of you never knew Lawrence, but a lot of the stuff that we always got on the air for you, or we always had about the Spartans, is because of all of his good work. And coaches, I know, especially the basketball coaches, got a chance to meet him down through the years. Maybe a few of the football guys did. But basketball coaches will never forget. I know all the guys down through the years. He loved Rod Tueller, one of his favorite all-time people. The matchup tonight, the last two Mountain West football champions. San Jose State winning in 2020, the shortened COVID year. They beat Boise State in that title game to go 7-1 that year. Aggies last year 11-3, and of course took San Diego State for the championship. But Utah State has had the number. Speaking of the Spartans, 5-0 in the Mountain West games they've played, and like we said earlier, the games have not been closed. And we said it's really 9 straight going back to the WAC season. So somebody this week said to Coach Brennan, why has Utah State always been a thorn in your side, Coach?
We played them my first 2 years, and we were not a good football team, and they got after us pretty good. And then we didn't play them in 20, and then we played them last year, and they got after us, right? It's like, that game against Utah State last year kind of felt a lot like San Diego State did, unfortunately, right? Like we jumped out, and then we started not playing complimentary football, not playing good football, and we turned it over and just all kinds of messy stuff, and they ran away with it. And so I think they're always well coached. They have good personnel. I think they've done a great job of building that program over time. They have an incredible facility and a stadium and a skybox and an indoor and a weight room, and they have just football weight room, right? So they have some cool things that I think help recruit good players to their program, and then those players know that when they get there, they're going to be well coached, and it's going to be a good process for them. So I think that's part of it. No one's playing good football with bad players. How do you get those good players to choose your institution? And that's why our new facility is such a big deal for us, right? That's a big piece that we haven't had. It's going to be a lot of fun when we get it. We're 7 months away.
That was the coach this week as he talked about that answer. So that's an interesting answer. And we were talking about the death of our friend, but you talk about adversity for his team this year. In week 8 for San Jose, their freshman running back on a scooter near the campus was hit by a school bus and killed. Camden McKnight, right before they were leaving that day to play New Mexico State. So in the middle of the season, when they had, again, already really dominated Wyoming and UNLV and Western Michigan easily, and they'd had a tough loss to Fresno State, San Diego State, plus these injuries, and then that death in the middle of things. How do you handle these kind of situations? I mean, it's horrible, obviously, what Virginia's going through this week, Coach.
Because you have no choice, right? You have no choice. You have to get ready for the next one, And we've had some hard stuff this year, right? When Camden passed away, we had to get ready for the next week, right? We don't get to stop the season, And so, every football season has its ups and downs. It has things that challenge you. You play really well and don't win. Right, you play well and win. You play bad and find a way to win. There's all these different things that happen, and so you do try to take an honest look at every part of it, starting with me as a head coach. The main thing is that I don't. If you dwell on that too much, right, then you're missing the necessary preparation time for this next one, right? And so you really have to flush it and move on, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Again, Brent Brennan, again at San Jose State, has taken them from when they were really struggling those first couple of years with him into a team that now has a winning record almost every year in football. We told you Derek Odom, Kevin McGibbon are his coordinators, guys who've been here at Utah State as assistant coaches. Odom with Mick Dennehy back a former Utah player, Derek Odom was. And then also Boje Filimuatu was an assistant with him when he first got the job. Then when Gary Anderson got hired, of course, he came back here to Logan for a while. Now, Boje is is he at Weber State or he's at UNLV, I think, with Coach Woods down there. So Boise State just took the lead, 13-10. They scored a touchdown in the third quarter. They've dominated this game. But they were down for a long time. In fact, 10-0 down. Now they've scored the last 13. So Boise starting to take control. Oh, very cold Laramie. It's very cold Logan. Not yet to kickoff, and we're at 22.5 degrees outside. Our KVNU game day tonight is brought to you by Prodigy Brewing, the first brew pub in the Valley. They are on Center Street with their great brews, but of course also pizza, burgers, and all kinds of good food. Sunday brunch tomorrow as well. And Alpine Home Medical. Remember, if you're looking for compression stockings, CPAP supplies, lift chairs, oxygen supplies, a whole lot more, look no further than Alpine Home Medical. AlpineHomeMedical.com, their webpage, 774-4500 is the phone number for Alpine Home Medical. Game day continues on KVNU and The Fan. Next up, it's Know Your Aggies with Eric Franson. Brock Lane. Doesn't that sound like a great football name? He once did have a nickname, though. We're going to find out about that and lots more answers for him coming up next on Game Day.
You have to see it to believe it. The new Three Peaks Medical Plaza is Cache Valley's newest and most up-to-date medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center are now located in the Three Peaks Medical Plaza in North Logan. The entire staff and Drs. Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette look forward to helping you and your family at this state-of-the-art medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is now located in Providence and Three Peaks Medical Plaza, 2245 North 400 East in North Logan. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted.
You're first and goal at the 10-yard line with seconds left on the clock. Your running back is poised for the game-winning touchdown, but before you can make the snap, the opposing team just takes the ball and locks it in a safe, and they won't give you the combination unless you pay them $10,000. That's exactly how ransomware works. And in 2021, 2 out of every 3 organizations fell victim to ransomware attacks. Protect your business with Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Learn more at lesolson.com.
Are you a small business owner? Who's your bank? This is Bruce Rigby. I want to invite you to bank with us at Cache Valley Bank. We specialize in helping small business, and we have great people. That's the Cache Valley Bank difference. Decisions made locally, without all the red tape, by people who care and know how to help small business. Cache Valley Bank, growing, expanding, and proud to have our roots firmly planted in Cache Valley. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Talking about Aggie football like no one else can. KVNU Game Day is back.
Big game for us. We've talked, been very open about our desire to get this team to a bowl, become bowl eligible, keep that, kind of get that streak rolling, and that's something that we know is on the table this week.
And that's the coach getting ready for tonight, about a half hour away. It's going to start not on TV. I mean, they've got on this Texas Tech, Iowa State game. They started it at 5 o'clock. Commentary time for me. The Mountain West Conference left and made a new deal with CBS Sports Network, who is very good for the most part. They schedule their games out right. Fox Sports does not. And in the end, it hurts you in coverage. They put basketball 2 hours right on top. You never, nowadays in college basketball on TV, get a game done in 2 hours. Football, they schedule a game to start at 5 o'clock, and they do all their pregame, and then they start at 5:10. And they put another game at 7:45 for the start. And you can't even put it on FS2 tonight because our conference has got another game on FS2 tonight. So it's going to have to be on the internet somewhere for probably about into the second quarter. It's probably what will happen with this game tonight. And then notice when they go to their halftime, CBS Sports Network has been good for the conference. They're still there with live updates at halftime talking about the game and then updating scores. Fox Sports will have it all recorded. They've gone home after their long day. Or they're all looking at the USC-UCLA game and the Utah-Oregon game. They could care less. Conference made a bad deal leaving ESPN in some extent, even though we had those late-night games on ESPN. Again, we're having late-night games on Fox. So, okay. Back to, we just heard from Cache Valley Bank. You heard from me, I'm sorry. Here's the key stats I've come up with from Cache Valley Bank. We always have the post-game stats, but here's the interesting thing. For the Aggies, in the first 5 games this year, we were -8 with the turnover margin. In the last 5 games, we're +6. We were +4 against Hawaii, a season high. And we've had back-to-back games of defensive touchdowns for the first time since 2019. Now, going against San Jose, though, will not be easy for the Aggies. San Jose is the number 8 red zone defense in the nation. The Aggies are number 129 in the nation in red zone offense. Only 2 other teams worse. And again, San Jose has only had 4 turnovers all year long on offense. That's the second fewest in the country. They have a +10 turnover ratio, which is number 6 in the nation. And they have 19 sacks in the last 3 games. That's number 5 in the NCAA. They had 9 against Colorado State. And they're better than Hawaii, and Hawaii gave Cooper Lega a tough time. But in the Hawaii 41-34 victory, that's a couple of interesting stats from Cache Valley Bank. Always appreciate them. Local decisions made locally by the bank at Cache Valley Bank for you. Let's see. We've got Smithfield. We've got Preston. We've got North Logan. We've got the north end of Logan. We've got downtown Logan. Again, Cache Valley Bank also in Hiram. In the victory over Hawaii, 6 different receivers caught passes, and another 3 who did not catch a pass were targeted by Cooper Lega. It just seemed in his career-high 238-yard passing game, despite getting harassed by them, 3 touchdown night, those are career highs, that the 3 scoring grabs came on first touchdown grabs of the year for players out there that we've been talking about. Tight ends all the year, again, 2 touchdowns in that game. Sturzer and Brock Lane. Calvin Tyler Jr. catches his first touchdown pass out of the backfield.
Phenomenal all year. Attitudes have been awesome, and we'd like to see them more and more involved as the backs as well in the throw game. We get a big one out of Calvin Tyler. So I think the more diverse we are in terms of who touches the ball, the more balanced we become as an offense, the more difficult we become to defend.
And like we said with Calvin earlier, it just seemed like 3 quarters we did everything we wanted to do on offense. He did have that 35-yard touchdown catch, wide open, that wheel route out of the backfield, Calvin.
Honestly, I only ripped that play one time, and it was yesterday. A walkthrough, so and it was open. So I kind of feel like it's gonna be open, but not that open. And my job was just to catch the ball. That's what I did.
He caught the ball, ran to the end zone. That's the way you get it done. I asked Cooper Lega this week. It just seemed against Hawaii for a while we had more vertical throws than we've had in a long, long time.
I mean, we always want to have big plays, but I think there was just more opportunities against Hawaii, and I feel 2 of our touchdowns were sort of busted coverages, so I think that was them sort of making mistakes, and we capitalized on it. So had a couple big plays, and I think we were just ready for the opportunity when they made some mistakes with their defense.
Think about these last 2 games for Cooper as he came back from the concussion against Wyoming. He missed the Wyoming game. Again, you had New Mexico that gave him some fits in some ways. And then Hawaii put pressure on him like crazy. Now you got 2 really good defenses coming up in San Jose State tonight, Boise State next Friday. Again, those last 2 are going to help you, right, Cooper?
Yeah, I'm glad we play San Jose and Boise at the end of the year. Gives me a couple games to get some more experience because these are 2 really good teams we have to finish out the year. So I think the experience I've gained so far this year is good for me, and I plan on finishing out strong and hopefully having 2 of my best games.
Okay, so again, it's a tough defense he goes up against tonight. Better personnel, experienced team. New Mexico, like we said, bothered him. Hawaii went after him. This is the number 5 NCAA sacking team. So again, you had the 4 sacks against Hawaii. Experience that you can avoid tonight?
Yes, and honestly, I think probably more than half the sacks from Hawaii were my fault, just holding the ball too long or pulling it when I shouldn't have. So I think a lot of the sacks from Hawaii were on me, not really the O-line or anything else like that. So I think it was a good learning opportunity for me, just knowing when I need to hit the check down or when I have to hit the hot route. So just being more aware of the pressure, and I feel like San Jose is going to see that and they'll try to do the same thing. So I'll be ready for it.
And when I asked Coach Anderson to evaluate Cooper after the game against Hawaii, it sounds like, again, he had a similar type feel to what Cooper just told us.
Yeah, no, he had two flat-out mistakes on his part where he's got to get rid of the ball. We had an RPO where he squeeze the ball, and he's not going to get protection for a long period of time. He knows that, and he held on to it, and he knows he's got to dump it. We had an empty set where they brought the extra guy right down the middle, A gap. He's got to see that and get the ball out. We had outlets available. He just didn't choose to take them. Those are things that experience for him. He's going to learn from those mistakes.
Again, that's the coach talking about Cooper Laga, who makes, again, it's 4-1 as a starter and wants to keep that win streak going here tonight against San Jose State in a game where the Aggies are rated like a 1-point favorite now. I think it started San Jose was like a 1-point favorite, so it's been a close game on the boards. Let's check a couple of scores for you at this point. Tonight brought to you by Advanced Fireplace and Stove. Do not put up with that dingy and dirty wood stove anymore. Go to Advanced Fireplace and Stove in Logan. So we mentioned Boise State leads 13-10 late third quarter over at Laramie, where it is cold. How about South Carolina ripping Tennessee 35-24 in the third quarter of that game, the number 5 team in trouble. We have Arkansas beating number 14 Ole Miss 35-6. We have Oklahoma over Oklahoma State at the half in Bedlam 28-3. And in the second quarter, UCLA 14 and USC 10. Again, earlier today, Georgia beat Kentucky, and that was only 16-6 for number 1. And then Ohio State beat Maryland 43-30. But it was number 3 and number 4 that's just barely stayed alive with field goals in the college football playoff rankings, as Michigan got one towards the end to beat Illinois 19-17. And TCU somehow got their field goal team on the field and kicked a field goal to win the game 29-28 over Baylor today in college football. Really, the only upsets today involved number 20, U.S. Central Florida, the highest-ranked non-Power 5 school in the college football rankings, and they lost to Navy 17-14. And then Louisville beat number 24 North Carolina State today 25-10. So that's your update. And we mentioned earlier today, BYU won, Weber State won. Utah playing at 8:30 on ESPN tonight for their game against Oregon up at Oregon, where, again, Oregon lost a home game last week for the first time in a long time. But I'll tell you, good year for Weber State. BYU got bowl eligible with the win. It was only 28-20 with Utah Tech at the half. Let's turn our attention to our Know Your Aggies features, always, again, brought to you by Thermo Fisher Scientific on our game day. We have them in basketball. We have them in football from our Eric Franson, who will be with us post-game. Zach Van Leeuwen will be joining with us tonight as well after the Aggies and Spartans game to take your calls, answer your questions on the text line and the calls that you have. So we'll have Zach Van Leeuwen and Eric Franson after the game with me on game day. When the game is over, immediately we're back on a station you can hear very easily, and we've got the Fan and KVNU joining with us. Speaking of the Fan, they'll be joining the Jazz and Portland game right after we're done with our game day. They've got that tonight, and they'll get that game done before the football game is done as well. But Brock Lane is our featured Aggie on Know Your Aggies. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, redshirt sophomore out of Chandler, Arizona. Been here 3 years. And again, for Thermo Fisher Scientific.
Getting to know Brock Lane, there are no wrong answers. So it's just whatever comes to your mind, okay? So would you rather eat steak or seafood?
Ooh, steak for sure. Definitely a steak guy. Filet mignon's the go-to.
That's your cut?
Yes, that's my favorite.
Okay. You're like a real rare guy, medium rare?
Medium. I'm more on the overcooked than undercooked kind of guy.
Okay. Apple or Android?
Apple, for sure Apple. I never had an Android. I don't plan on that.
We had a big lottery not too long ago. If you were to win that lottery, I mean, it was up to, $2 billion? Right. If you won the lottery, what would you do with that kind of cash?
Shoot. Take a bunch of my buddies and go on a vacation, probably.
Where would you go?
Somewhere on the beach. Just anywhere in the water. Just want to be in the water and the beach.
Somewhere exotic.
Yes, for sure. Some island, some cool island I never heard of.
You could probably buy it with that kind of money.
Yeah, probably buy your own little island. Yeah, that would be cool.
What's your spirit animal?
My spirit animal? I'll probably say a lion or gorilla.
Oh.
Those are, I don't know. I just always had little stuffed animal lion and gorillas my whole life growing up. Okay. It's just been my favorite.
And then my last question is, did you ever have a nickname when you were playing in high school or playing now?
So, never in high school, but when I was little, I used to have hair down to past my shoulders, and I always got called Sunshine. Sunshine and Simba. Those were my two nicknames, but I haven't been called those in a while, probably since 8th grade.
Okay. Very good. Brock Lane, Sunshine, Simba. Thank you so much.
That's what they used to call me. Appreciate it.
See, if you run into Brock now, you can just say Simba or, that kind of thing, get along with that and all. Interesting stuff always from Eric. And again, he's played 6 games. Brock Lane has for us, had some injuries at times this year, but 4 catches, 30 yards, and he got the first touchdown in his career last week in that win against Hawaii. Again, look for it. And like I said, what a great football name, Brock Lane. Okay, coaches segment coming up next as we continue game day, getting ready for the 7:45 kickoff up at the stadium tonight, the Aggies in San Jose State.
These guys are absolutely playing their best football this season right now. They've won 4 of their last 5. We have to go to their place, which is always a tough place to go. I did a radio interview today. They just wanted to talk about the elevation and the weather, which I'm like, we can't control that stuff, so I'm not, it's not like they're going to turn up the temperature for me because I ask.
No. 21 degrees, one of the colder Aggie games we've had in a long, long time coming up. And we're not even to kickoff yet. It's 21 outside right now as game day continues on The Fan. We're live on Sports Talk Radio The Fan and also on KVNU for Aggie Game Day.
The Young Automotive Group is proud to announce Young Truck and Trailer Center in Cache Valley. Whether it's heavy equipment trailers, horse trailers, race car trailers, or cargo and utility trailers, we're excited to offer some of the finest trailers and flatbed work trucks to Cache Valley. Our team of experts look forward to helping you find the right truck or trailer to fit your needs, with competitive prices offered on every make and model for sale on our lot. With our extensive inventory, you'll find the best deals right here in Cache Valley. Young Truck and Trailer Center, just off Highway 89 in Logan. Think young, drive young.
It's that first kiss, that moment in time.
This is Jarek from Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Everyone knows us as an engagement ring store, but not everyone knows about everything else we do. Custom design, our in-house laser jewelry repair. We offer fashion jewelry, charm bracelets, necklaces, earrings, birthstone jewelry, watches. We love people to just look and make a wish list. Stop in and say hi.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
Hey, Aggie fans. Looking for the best burger in town? Bring the family to Prodigy Brewing and try out our signature Prodigy Supreme Burger or a wood-fired pizza. Need a smaller plate for the kids? Our kids menu has you covered. Whether you are out with the family or just want to catch the Aggies game with friends, Prodigy Brewing is the place to be in Cache Valley, located at 25 West Center Street in beautiful downtown Logan.
Hi, this is Ashley from LSS Insurance. Are you getting 3 or more calls a day about Medicare? Telemarketers that offer an amazing Medicare benefit? That amazing offer may be available if you live in Florida or Arizona. At LSS Insurance, we offer the right plans for our area, and I guarantee you will get better benefits at a lower cost. It's time to enroll or change your Medicare plan. Call LSS Insurance at 752-9493 or go to lssins.com or come to our free third Thursday meeting.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Primrose Home Care on News Talk KVNU and Sports Talk Radio, The Fan.
To me, has maximized his career. He's getting looks by the next level, which is awesome. And I think he gets it because he's so efficient and he's so smart.
That's the coach, Blake Anderson, talking about Hunter Reynolds, one of the seniors who is honored tonight at the stadium. In fact, that's probably getting started here within about the next 4 or 5 minutes. I hope you're up there if you can go tonight to the game. Again, blankets and coats needed, but also get up there and support these seniors. There's just 10 of them. Been a really special group, and he's talking about Hunter Reynolds. And speaking of Hunter Reynolds, he will start at safety with Ike Larson back there in our S.E. Needham Jewelers starting lineups. Over 125 years of shopping at S.E. Needham Jewelers has become a tradition for thousands of families, especially during the holiday gift-giving season. S.E. Needham Jewelers. So those two at safety on defense for the Aggies, and the corners now are Michael Anwanyu and Andre Grayson because of the injury to Johnny Carter. And then at linebacker, Kaleo Neves is kind of the striker position, and he's been doing much better lately. And at linebacker, who knows tonight? That is, of course, a big deal. We want to know, again, how it stands for MJ Tafisi. The coach said earlier this week.
I hope we get MJ back Saturday night. And he went with us. He worked out all weekend. He's feeling better every day. It's a day-to-day conversation between him and the docs when they're going to clear him to play. He's ready to play today, if you ask him. So it's going to come down to the docs. He's getting closer. I would like to think Saturday night he's lined up for us.
with A.J. Von Pachong, of course, as the other linebacker, or will it be Max Alford and Sione Moa, those younger players as well? And then up front, Byron Vaughns and Daniel Grishik start. Hale Motuapoaka and Pokesi Vakauta will also be the other inside starter for the Aggies, a little thin at that defensive tackle position. And then, of course, we'll also see probably Joyner, although there was a time, I remember in the Hawaii game, that Joyner went out. Now, on the offensive line, last week, Colmode started because Jacob South couldn't start. I know South was in a concussion protocol situation. He's being honored tonight as a senior, so hopefully he can start on senior night at that one spot opposite of our guest Alfred Edwards earlier. And then you've got Chandler Dolphin at center, and you've got Wade Meacham at one guard, and you've got Waylon Walapuahu at the other guard with Fale Allo being ready to play inside there. Josh Sturzer at tight end. Brock Lane will see some time there. And then you've got Terrell Vaughn and Brian Cobbs and Justin McGriff as their starting wide receivers. And then you've got Calvin Tyler Jr. at running back, who says, we can't now, again, get to this point of the season with these 2 wins in November to stop. After winning the last 2, we got to win these last 2.
Pressure is on. I feel like it's pressure is on, but it's no pressure. So what I mean like that, all we got to do is execute and come to practice where they work every day, come to meetings with a good mindset, positive mindset. And, like I said, we're going to take them one game at a time, and it's playoff mentality. So we've been saying in the locker room is win or go home. Win or go home. So that's how we've been, mentality we've been having and the approach we've been taking from here on out.
Win tonight, bowl eligible. San Jose wins tonight. They still keep a chance at having the Western, win of the West Division. It's a real outside shot, but they would still have a shot over there because they've lost to both San Diego State and Fresno State in the head-to-head this year. And then we've got Cooper Legat, quarterback. That's your SC Needham Jewelers starting lineup for the Aggies, or at least proposed starting lineup. In every game, there seems to be just a little bit of a question or a surprise. Let's do the coaches segment tonight. Don't let Mother Nature spoil your, again, winter season. That Generac backup generator will make sure you're always warm. You'll have power in your home. If the power goes out, your business can always be safe as well during the cold winter months if the power goes out with a great Generac generator. And Golden Spike Electric can do that and all your electrical needs at 257-3016. So, into the game tonight, we mentioned San Jose is already bowl eligible. They're 6-3. Brennan's team, though, comes in off of that loss to San Diego State, 43-27 last Saturday.
All right, so we are coming off a tough loss at San Diego State. I give their team and Coach Hoke a ton of credit. They played better than us. We didn't deserve to win. It's that simple. We lost momentum with the kickoff return in the first quarter, and then we played, a quarter and a half of bad football. Both sides of the ball, and we just couldn't get back on track. And then, kind of started to get some stuff going in the second half, and just it wasn't enough. It was too little too late. And so it was really, really a frustrating night for all of us. I'm really disappointed. The players are really disappointed. But, we flushed that on Sunday and went to work on Utah State.
Again, that was Coach Brent Brennan. On the other side, in our coaches segment, Coach Blake Anderson. Despite the fourth-quarter defensive collapse and no offense either, the Aggies did find a way to make it 5-5 after the win against Hawaii.
Yeah, I think, the resiliency of that group, you're right. We didn't have a great night, just statistically speaking, struggled to get them stopped, struggled to put them away. When we had to have plays, we made them. Ike had a big game, obviously, but the pressure up front, even though there weren't a lot of stats, we got to the quarterback and made him really uncomfortable most of the night. We made some very big plays in one-on-one situations with pass breakups and then the turnovers. You win the turnover battle, you always have a chance to win the games. Not our best night statistically, but key plays and key situations where we had to have it to win. And that's really conference play down the stretch on the road. That's really all that matters.
And 4-1 is what your team has done lately, Coach.
We've recruited missed tackles. We've reduced MAs. We've reduced drops. I think those are things that you just kind of have to continue to go out every day and work and get better and better. And honestly, just gain confidence so when the moment is there that you don't panic.
Tonight, the Spartans' defense has been a good defense, but unlikely, Coach Blake Anderson, that the San Diego State Aztecs threw the ball last week against them last Saturday to beat them in their game like they did.
Yeah, they're hard to run the ball against. Their front is the strength of their team. They're hard to throw it against, too, if you're not careful, because they can rush the passer extremely well. We found out last year, and Logan Logan had to get picked up off the turf a lot, and we were down 14-0. We played a great defensive game against them last year. We got things going eventually offensively the way we needed to, but it was not easy. That you're right, San Jose State typically does pound the ball at you, but that was not easy for them. They did a really good job of winning in one-on-one situations in the back end and creating explosive throws. So we're going to have to be balanced, protect the ball, protect the quarterback, and take our shots where we can. I don't think we can abandon the run. It may not be pretty, but we have to stay balanced.
And San Jose State did return, as Craig mentioned earlier, all 11 defensive starters. 9 of these guys were either first team or second team, all Mountain West on defense. So it's talented. What about their style?
Yeah, I think it gives you a lot of diversity. When you got guys you trust, maybe you can carry a little bit more, be a little bit more exotic, creates problems for us up front to cover all that up. But they're dynamic on the D-line. They're twitchy and dynamic. One of the best that we saw last year, the guys you're talking about are back and played a lot of snaps. The ability to move and not end up with 2 guys in a gap, knowing guys are disciplined and mature, are going to end up in the right spot. It creates a lot of flexibility for what they can do. I think flexibility with dynamic players creates a lot of problems.
And again, you look at their stats. Again, they have not had a lot of running games of 100 yards. Craig, I think, said 6 of 9 up until now that have not been 100-yard rushing games for them this season. So it's kind of interesting where, again, they are not really a great running team, but offensively with Chev Cordero, a quarterback coach, he thinks can run the football.
The games I've watched on them, I think they have the ability to run the ball extremely well. You're right. The numbers don't tell you that. And I think the reason he's got the sacks, number one, he's never out of a play. In his mind, the guy's got the feet to get out of any kind of mess. So you're right. He's taking some sacks that some guys wouldn't. But you turn right back around the next play, and he may be 20 yards downfield on you. So it comes with a silver lining, I think, for them. That yes, he's going to take a sack, but he's also going to create some really, really big plays. The games that I've watched, the really big games, in tight games when they've won, they have run the ball well. I think you got a solid running back, and they're not afraid to run it. Their willingness to spread the ball around to everybody on the field, to me, works with that. I mean, they spread you out, they spread the ball around, and then the next thing you know, you got a light box and they pop you with counter or zone. So I think the numbers are a little bit skewed because of the sacks. I think they're much better rushing the ball than the numbers show.
And Chev Cordero is a 2-time player of the week this year. He's the number 1 Mountain West passer, 2,420 yards and 22 touchdowns himself, responsible for 14 passing and 8 himself. He has run the ball in. So that's our coach on their personnel, and now Brennan on the other side about Utah State's talent.
We're playing a really good team, right? The quarterback is settling in since replacing, Bonner from a year ago. He's doing a great job. They have a very veteran team. When you watch them play, their defense flies to the football. They've got good players all over it. A lot of upperclassmen, a lot of guys that have played a lot of football for them and played at a high level, right? They won the conference a year ago. And then offensively, excellent veteran offensive line, big bodies that are athletic and physical. The running back is an outstanding player. I think he's one of the top rushers in the conference. And then they have an outstanding receiving corps, which they've always seemed to have.
Interesting, again, from Brent Brennan talking about the Aggie team. And then the Spartans come in from the comfort. They have not played a game where it hasn't at least been 62 degrees or something all year. And now they kick off, and it's 21 right now. So we thought the kickoff would be 21. They're at 4,500 feet and all of that. That's one thing. Coach Brennan had some interesting stuff to say about that this week at his press conference.
No, we're going to play how we play. It is interesting, right? Because, all of our games here, I don't think we've had a game below 60 degrees this season. So it is different for us. You know what I mean? But it's like I told the players, if you get drafted in Green Bay, are you not going to go? Yeah, we got to play. So let's get ready to play.
And they'll be ready to play. Again, he's been a good coach getting them going. So, keys to the game tonight. Again, let's get those brought to you by Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Remember, customers are always saying things like, I had an excellent experience. Best service and price in the Valley. Highly recommend them to anyone. Again, make it special. Make it Jarek's. And here is the coach.
They're really, really good up on the front. Their defensive front creates all kind of chaos in the backfield. And they tend to force those turnovers with pressure and sacks or forcing you to put the ball in harm's way. We got to stay away from that. And they've got a quarterback that's extremely mobile, very, very gifted at creating, and it's hard to get a beat on him and get to him. So which front's able to make the other quarterback most uncomfortable is going to be huge. We've got to protect the ball. We cannot turn the ball over and expect to win against these guys. We've seen that in the past earlier this year where it killed us. We can't have that. And proud that we've done better, but the job's not done yet.
They're great at forcing turnovers. They have one of the best turnover ratios in the country. We, of course, haven't turned it over lately. So, again, that's a key deal in this game with the cold weather and all tonight. So there is your coaches segment on game day. One more segment coming up. Incidentally, Wyoming's taking the lead now, 17-13 over Boise State. They're in the fourth quarter. Wyoming's got the ball. But, again, it's 17-13 with about 13 minutes to play over there in Laramie. And the Aggie game tonight, 7:45 kickoff at the stadium. FS1 for the game. FS2 is where they go if they didn't have a game over there. But we do have a conference game over there that's going on FS2. So they can't put the game over there. So starting at 7:45 with this Iowa State and Texas Tech game going for quite a while longer. Again, we got Air Force and Colorado State over on FS2 that got started at 7 o'clock. So I think it's going to have to be on the internet if you're not there in the stadium. We hope you're there. But we've got one more segment on game day coming up after this.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring for their manufacturing, distribution, and warehouse team. And that's great news for anyone seeking a rewarding career. Thermo Fisher offers positions across multiple shifts, competitive compensation, health benefits, paid time off, bonuses, and an excellent work environment. Help Thermo Fisher make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Visit jobs.thermofisher.com and search Logan. Thermo Fisher Scientific is an equal opportunity employer.
The Elements Restaurant is serving a plated Thanksgiving dinner this year with all the holiday classics. Herb roasted turkey with a sage turkey gravy, garlic whipped potatoes and whipped sweet potatoes, traditional cornbread stuffing, and delicious warm rolls. And for dessert, choose between pumpkin pie, pecan pie, or apple galette. Let the Elements serve your family a delicious Thanksgiving feast while you spend the day enjoying family and friends. Prime times fill up quickly. Reserve online today at theelementsrestaurant.com or call 750-5171.
Advanced Heating and AC, the two-time gold medal winner in Best of Northern Utah. They're teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you the best furnace units available. And now's the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, 752-7272. Or stop by their showroom west of DI. And online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
Aggie Game Day continues. Sponsored by Thermo Fisher on News Talk KVNU and Sports Talk Radio, The Fan.
I appreciate sponsors like My Mattress. Again, stop in and see Ryan or Travis, your sleep wellness experts down by the South Walmart. And LSS Insurance, a busy time for them to help you get into your own health insurance plan if you're not insured at work. Through the exchange, or again, you can do Medicare changes this time of the year. Who in the heck at Fox Sports believes they can start a game at 5 o'clock on TV with television breaks like they are and get an Aggie game started at 7:45? There's 11 minutes to play in this game involving Iowa State and Texas Tech, and it's close, so it could really be a long fourth quarter. And the game's supposed to start here at the stadium in about a minute and a half. So I don't know exactly where it will be. They'll have to put it on the internet, I guess, somewhere, because they can't go to FS2 because Colorado State and Air Force are playing over there. So it is the first team the Aggies ever played in a bowl game was? San Jose State. Lost the Raisin Bowl in 1947 to them. Remember the 48-48 tie we had with them in 1978? John Ralston had 4 years at San Jose, of course, had the great years for Utah State as well. This is our fifth longest series, 41st ever game. Only Utah, BYU, Colorado State, and Wyoming more. 35 years in a conference with San Jose. We've won 9 in a row, and tonight the Aggies needed to get bowl eligibility. And on the other side, San Jose is trying to stay in the race in their division, although it's a long shot, like we said. They try to stay in there and get that done. So That's what we've got tonight. Women's basketball team lost today to Arkansas State. The men's basketball team, of course, won that game the other night against San Diego. They'll be home Tuesday night. The men finished 26th at the NCAA cross country, beat some rated teams today there. And how about on the women's side, Anna Weaver finished 53rd individually over there today. Utah State volleyball lost to Air Force, not exactly the way they wanted to go into the conference tournament, losing 2 games this week. They'll be the number 4 seed. That's it for game day. We'll be on immediately after the game is over here on KVNU and on The Fan.